Waiting to go live. So I think we're live now. So I just wanted to get on and talk about how overwhelming it could be when all these deadlines are looming and the workload feels unmanageable. So, for those of you that don't know me, I am Leslie Leondis, where I help accountants, bookkeepers, and tax pros actually build the business that they want and that they love. So I've been talking to several people through Facebook and calls and my clients, and the story is constantly the same. Like, we have this upcoming tax deadline, which is putting more pressure because we're now out of the summer, and now it's like, oh, I got all this work to do, but then we're still missing documents. We're still waiting on clients. We're still waiting on all this stuff, and it feels like that there's no way out. I was talking to one of my clients this morning, and we were talking about how she said, I have like 100 returns left, and I'm missing so much information. And I'm like, hey, let's jump on a call this week and talk through, okay, how can we keep this from happening again? And so I want to talk about the recognizing the pattern that is going on here, because several people have told me, well, there's just no way out of this pattern. And I'm telling you that there is. If you take the time to stop, stop it and quit putting out fires and never having time to step back and plan strategically. I have an upcoming event, and I've been told I can't do it because it's right before the September 15th deadline. And I'm like, okay, so if you don't do it now, then we have the October 15th deadline, then we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, and then you're back in the same cycle again. When are you going to start getting out? That's the thing. I had to make a decision. I made a decision 5 years ago that I'm done with this cycle. And that's what I want to urge you to. When you put your line in the sand and you say, I'm done, and you never want to go back there again, you start taking little baby steps to getting back your health, your relationships, and your long term success. Because if you stay in this cycle, and I call it this hamster wheel cycle, it stunts your business growth. And you started your business for a reason, and it was not to work like this. I know it wasn't for me. I left retail management to have a better life, not to work more, which it was furthest from the truth. So I am so passionate about helping you get there, but you've got to take the first step, because what I hear all the time is, I'm too busy right now. So if you're too busy right now, when are you not going to be busy? I just said all the deadlines that are coming up, and there's still so many of you that do payroll reports manually, and you add that into your mix as well. So when are you going to do it? And then I have deadlines to meet. Well, no kidding. This is where you've got to stop and get a picture of where you want to go. But unless you stop, you're going to keep doing the same thing every single year. I talk to tax pros, accountants all the time that say, I just can't get a break. Well, the reason you can't get a break is because you never stop to take one. And in our coaching program, we actually give you the steps to take. We tell you exactly what to do and how to do it and what order to do it. We listen to where you're at. We start where you're at. And so many times people will say, well, I just don't have time. I don't have time for a meeting. I don't have time for this. But I'm telling you, if you stop and follow the frameworks that we give you, you will have a completely different business. And I have accountants that had a completely different business within 6 months by just following the steps. But they had to stop. And they worked with us in tax season, in April, first quarter. We have bookkeepers that worked with us through first quarter. But if you say, I don't have time in September, okay, you're not going to have time in October. You're not going to have time in November or December. And then you're back in first quarter again. And then it starts all over again. So if you want to break this cycle, you've got to start now. And you can't keep doing this because it requires intentional effort to break the cycle. So if you think about a hamster wheel that goes like this, you've got to put a stick in it to stop it. And so you've got to slow down to speed up. And sometimes our clients really and truly just removed some of their non-ideal clients to actually make traction. But seeing the change in them and change in their mindset and changing how they're not near as hard-headed as they were when they first started working with us. They became open and they just started doing what we said, and it works. And I know it works because it is the same stuff I do in my own accounting firm, and it's the same ones that I share with all my clients with no stuff held back. So what I want to do is I'm doing a boot camp starting September the 9th through the 12th, an hour a day for me to tell you how to delegate so you can move your firm forward. And then after that, we're going to tell you how to do it. And during that boot camp, I'm going to give you things to do each and every day, little things to do so you can make little steps. Because even during when it's busy, you can still make little steps. I completely transformed my firm within 1 year. And yes, we are still working on it the year 2, year 3. We are still working on it every single day because we take little steps. And those are the little steps that I'm going to give you. So if you join this boot camp, it is $47 for 4 days. And then you can join VIP where you get an extra 2-hour call, get to ask me anything you want to ask me about anything. Nothing is held back, but you have to show up live. This will not be streamed on Facebook. You have to pay to be there. And I strongly encourage you to be there through each session with your cameras on, prepared to do some work. Because with these small steps I'm going to give you in this boot camp, it's a limited opportunity. I had a tax preparer ask me, hey, can you run this another time? No, because it is right now. Because these events that I put on, we put so much effort into getting people to come, get people to show up. We do so much marketing into them. I put so much into the content that I don't have the energy to keep doing them over and over. So if you want in and you want something different in the next 6 months, join this boot camp, and I will put the link to it in the live. Like I said, it's $47 for me to give you the framework on how I effectively delegated to a team with no experience. So imagine what you could do if you have a team with experience, but then it also, if you don't have a team, that's fine, because there's a lot of stuff that we offloaded to tech. And we will not get into what tech do you do for this, what for this. That is not the point. The point is to know what you need to delegate to get off your plate, because there's so much that you're actually doing that you should not be doing. So if you have questions about the boot camp, drop them below in the comments. Drop them so we can answer them. If you have questions on times, days, they're on the sales page. There's a lot of Q&A things. I've tried to think of everything that you possibly could need in order to join this. But I want you to join because this is my last ditch effort to get you prepared for first quarter, so we can work with you through first quarter if you choose to get the business that you want and not keeping having the same cycle over and over and over again. Because I know you can do this. I know this industry can change. I know it wants to change, but you have to make the first step. I can only get up here and talk about this stuff for so long. You have to actually take action yourself, because the real thing that gets me is hearing I'm too busy and that's what's holding you back. What is holding you back is because you're not taking time to work on the stuff that you really need to work on. And the stuff you really need to work on is taking an hour a day to figuring out and doing something, because it's about the little bitty things. It's not about taking a week and working on your business. It is about taking 1% of your time and working on your business. And that's what I'm going to share with you, is how to do that. Because there's a difference between staying busy and actually being productive. So when you're scrolling through your emails, that's not being productive. There's some of my clients that I literally want to say, can I just come and be in your office with you for a day so I can see what you're doing? Because they should not be where they're at. And we are so committed to bringing you results to change your business where you can make more money, you can work less, you can take off when you need to take off or when you want to take off, where your family doesn't have to hear, I'm too busy, you can talk to me after April 15th. That is not the way that it needs to be. And I don't know how many different ways I can say that. So if you take control of your workload, can completely change the trajectory of your business. And I know this because it changed mine. I used to work just like you, but I never got anywhere. And I kept thinking I will just work out of the problem. The problem was the more I worked, the worse it got. So you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest just like you tell your clients to invest in theirs. But even when you feel like there's no time, that you have no more time to give, I guarantee you we can find you time, because every client that comes to us is burnt out. They don't know what to do. They're ready to close their business. They're ready to throw it away. They literally cannot do another thing. And we magically find time. And it starts with here, changing this. So it's amazing when you say, I'm done, and you put that line in the sand, what can happen? So I want you to join this boot camp, and I want you to have a different outcome. We're on a mission to change the accounting industry where it doesn't work like this. Clients need us to work differently. I have case study after case study from my own clients that we do bookkeeping and tax for, that they want something different. So I know they're out there that want something different, but you got to be ready to give it to them. And that is what we teach you, is how to get your business where you're more proactive than reactive. Because what most accountants are in is in a fire cycle every single day they go to work. So I'm going to drop the link for the registration. I hope to see you on that boot camp starting September 9th. And I promise you do have time. I don't care if you're eating lunch, whatever you have to do to be there is what I would love for you to do. So I hope to see you there. And I hope this woke some of you up to actually doing something about your business. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend.